back out in the bus. Today I'm going to tackle some framing up in here, down here, and across the tops here. And I need to get up here done and down the sides done for sure. I got to figure it all out because we got to put blinds in here, but I got to put some molding around that before we get to it. So I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do. It's down here along the bottom, it's uneven. This is a bit lower. It's just not even all the way across here. I'm going to have to clean this out a bit. Maybe I'll get in here with the belt sander. I'll pull the couch out of the way because it's not bolted down yet. I'll get in here and see if I can even this out, because what I'd like to do, I think a 2x4 on here would be a good height. See, if I put a 2x4 here, and then it's covering part of the window, I think that's going to work for us for the length. I'll have to bring one of the blinds out. That's the bottom. Up in between in the cross pieces, not quite sure what I'm going to do there yet. But up top here, I'm going to just find a piece that I can attach in there, probably screw it straight into here just so that it's flush. So that's probably going to be a piece of 1/2 inch might work. I'll find out. Then I can put that up in there and just cut it to fit right along here to the top of the frame. Yeah, that's my plan for now. So yeah, it'll be an interesting one to figure out. So this is in here. I've got I should have brought the square for this. 3/8 won't quite work. I wonder if a piece of quarter along there would fit. Got lots of quarter. Let me go find a piece of 1/4 inch. Okay. You know what? That might work pretty good. At the end here where this piece is a little bit, I could probably tap that in with a hammer so that it's a little tighter to the window frame. But I think over top of this one it looks pretty good. It's not quite, because it's a little, it's not square. I think it's square. That's not going to work. What if I got a piece of 3/8? Let's try some 3/8. Okay, I don't have a piece of 3/8, but this is 1/2. I think if I trim this up, this is pretty close. It's going to be, I might have to get creative in here, unless I just come to the edge of the window and then put something up in here. But I think 1/2 inch over this as well is going to look pretty good. So I'm just trying to decide if I should use 1/2 inch plywood or if I should go get some 1/2 inch board. The plywood, I mean, I can dress the edges where you'll see them. It's easy enough to put some veneer on it. That's not a big deal. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the 1/2 inch. I've got lots of 1/2 inch, so, and I think I'm just gonna run it straight across. That might be our best bet. So there we go. I'm gonna have to tap that one down. There's one over here that I don't have in yet. I'm gonna put that in, and it's just gonna butt right up against. You probably can't see me. Hang on. Down here. If I just go, I can just cut one strip and go all the way to there, butt it right up against there, and that's actually going to work out pretty nice. Not quite sure what I'm going to do down there yet. And then when I go to put these pieces on here, well, I want to leave these metal pieces on because they hold the window in place. And I'm just going to make it, I think I'm going to make it just as wide as this. And I'm just going to screw it in several, like 3 places or so, and just mount it right on there. Maybe countersink where these screws are. Just give it a tap and then countersink it. And I think if I prep this at the bottom for a 2x4, I think that'll work. I'll bring it down to the level of this one. All this stuff here has to come down to the level of this. So yeah, I think that'll work. But let's start with the top. I'm gonna see this one. This frame is further back, so I'm gonna have to pound this in just to bring it flush with this here, just a little bit. Ah, let's do that. Well, that didn't take much. This one needs a little bit. Oh yeah. So we're gonna need, I think if we go 1.25 inches, that's gonna bring it down almost to the edge of here. There'll just be a little bit of the frame showing. Just checking to see if that's gonna be okay all the way along. Yeah, it's fairly straight. I mean, there's some spots where the windows are definitely crooked, but I think that's going to cover it up to where, you know, and the blinds will be here, so you're not going to see like that much of the window. You know, in order to open the windows, we're going to have to lift the blind up out of the way, so they're going to hang down about to here. So none of that up there is really of any consequence, but I don't want it to look like crap. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put that other one over here right now, and then start making that stuff up top. All right, moved the couch out a little early, didn't I? Now I can do it from here. I got this one to put back on. Goes right there. And I think these were the screws we used. I'm gonna find out. Pretty heavy screws, pretty big. Uh-huh. Yep. Now, got the piece cut. Just sit right up in here like that. And now that end is still a bit much. I'm gonna tap that in a bit more, but I think that's gonna do really well. Okay, I've got the bit and the countersink. I'm gonna pre-drill the holes on the ends so that I can get this right up there, and then I'll do the others. Okay, now just because I pre-drilled there doesn't mean I know where I have to drill it up here. So I'm going to line this up, this end properly. Good. Right there. I'm going to do this one here. Drill through. There we go. That one I will. All right, so I'm going to put a screw in that end just to hold it up there, not tight, just so that it's not flapping around in the breeze on me here. There we go. Okay, put that end in, and I'm going to mark the hole for this end. Hopefully that didn't go outside. There we go. Countersunk them so that I can come in later with some wood filler and fill the screw holes in, and it'll just look a little cleaner. So now I'm going to put one. I might just go between the windows there, like in the middle of the window. Just put 3 more. Drill the holes, countersink them, and hopefully that'll hold it up good. I think it will. Put my countersink back on, so I'm just gonna countersink these. The reason I went in the middle of the windows is because up here I'm going through not only this piece, the keeper, but also the upright of the window, and that's pretty thick, and I just don't need to go through that. It doesn't need to be that strong. There we go. Screws in there. It's looking pretty good. Good, yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah. There we go. Now, I gotta do the bottom before I do here. These though, I don't have the tape measure. I think it's 2 inches wide. 2 1/4, something like that. And those I'm just gonna put straight down, from here down. If I need to, I don't know, I'll see how, here, I got a piece of 1/2 inch right here. So it could bow a little from the top, but 3/4 would look silly because it would be stuck way out. So I think that's going to be the best, even if I'm a little bit bowed out at the top. Yeah, that'll work. And then I'll put veneer down the sides and iron it on. But I gotta go get my sander and get that level. Ugh, that's gonna be a lot of work. I think that's got it. I believe that will work. Now, instead of using a 2x4, I bought a 2x3, which is 2 1/2 inches deep. This is about 2 1/8 in most places. 2 inches here. Yeah, call it 2 1/8. So with 2 1/2, it's going to stick out a little bit, and then I might, because it's 1 1/2 high, I think I'll just leave it right like that. I was considering coping it out so that it would drop down slightly, but I'll leave it that height and butt the couch right up against it. The couch has to be trimmed down too, so that's not a big deal. We'll trim the couch down. I think I'll sand it enough that it'll slide right underneath it. Maybe. Maybe not. I might butt it right up against it because I've got this. I'm going to put a piece right on top of that too. But that, I think I'm just going to use 3/4 ply and just cut it the width I need. and put it on. Okay, let's measure this piece. It's probably 80.5, just like the top was, but you never know. Yeah, 80.5. So I'm gonna cut one of those 2x3s to 80.5, and then where these window keepers are, I have to cut it out, cope it out around it. So I'll set it in here and I'll draw it out, and then I'll cut that with a jigsaw. Carefully. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to screw it down at the back. I'm going to drill pilot holes, probably half an inch. No, I'm just at the back. I can probably go an inch. Pencil width, half inch. Yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of holes along the back here, about 3/4 of an inch away from the edge, because when this is up tight, if I go, that's a half. Yeah, if I go 3/4, put me down right into the plywood. I'm just gonna pilot hole and countersink. Oh good, that's still on here. Pilot hole, countersink, and probably do 3 per window, and then we should be good. Okay, I was listening to a song on my headphones, was really into it, and forgot to film this. But I only put one in. So I countersunk the screws, just holding it tight, bringing it in. I'm just using 2-inch deck screws because construction screws. Yeah, I like it. And I know we haven't stained anything before we put it in, but you know what? We may do some whitewash, do some sealer. Some of it may end up just natural. I don't know, I really like the look. I'm weird. I don't know if you guys noticed that yet or not, but I'm weird. Okay. This is actually going much easier than I thought. The last few things I've done have not gone according to plan. I'll get that screw later. It's somewhere on the floor that I can't see right now. There we go. There we go. I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. Quite happy. Now I'll be cutting a piece of 1/2 inch to go up the wall like that, just on the outsides of here. Not going to come down over that. I think it'll look just fine. And I'll countersink wherever there's the screws. I'll countersink them. All right, where's my tape? Oh, it's hanging on my side. Let's start you. Okay, these are 2 inches. Well, it's not quite 2 inches. But if I cut the strips out of 1/2 inch, 2 inches wide, it's gonna have a little weird bow here, but it's gonna be flush all the way down. So this, I might even just hit it with a sander and just take a little bit out of that so that it's not so much. But this is where the blinds will be, so you're not really gonna notice it anyway. I will. But I'm gonna do that. And how long do they need to be? I'll measure each one separately. So that one's going to be 28 3/4. Okay, I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip, and then I'll come back and we'll do that. All right, first one cut. Just goes right in here like this. Wow, that worked out. Now, I know we've got those screws in there that I need to deal with, but man, I don't even think I need to. Maybe I should. See if that made a big enough dent. Top one didn't make a dent. And get my rubber mallet. Give it a love tap. Okay. Stick this back in here. Get it squared away how I want it. Okay, I know where the screws are. Got one right there. Got one right here. Got one right here. And then there. Oh, crap. There we go. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it'll pick it up. There's a dent, and a dent. I'm just going to hit that with a big drill bit, go down just a wee little bit, and then that'll fit right in there. Then I'll drill holes. And this thing is set away. So if I use a 1-inch screw and come through that in 3 spots, that should hold it nice and tight. Because this 1/2 inch, maybe if I can find a 1-inch screw, there should be enough room in behind that when I drill the holes. Rather than use a big drill bit, I'm going to use my countersink, and I am just going to pull the bit way back so that it's just coming out. And I will just give that a little shot right in the center. Okay. Yeah. Much better. When I pull it in there, so I'll put a screw here and a screw here. I think 2 screws should be enough. I think. I don't want them down here because I've got the big screw there. So I'll go one in the middle here and one in the middle there. And that should be enough because it's just trim. It's not holding anything. So I'm going to need to bring my bit back out. That's got it. Nice. Finally something that was going the way I wanted it to today. In the bus this year. So that's how it'll look. And I'll put veneer along the sides. And I'll put veneer under here. Even though you won't see it, you'll see the sides when the blinds are up. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I'll measure the other 2. I'm not 100% sure they're the same. Yeah, see that one's a little bit lower. May have to get creative with these ones. That one's the same. Okay, no sense bugging you guys with this. There we go. Trim is in. I gotta say, I'm pleased with that. Yeah. think that looks pretty good. I am going to have to address this. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put on there. Probably just a thin piece of quarter or something. But I'll have to sand it down flush. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go get one of the blinds and we're going to put that thing in here. So we've got one of the blinds out, two of them actually, and we're going to install one here. Yeah. So Christina, if you could hold that up there where you want it. I'm going to put something heavy on top of that so it doesn't just slide down. Flashlight will hold it. There. Okay, I'm just going to drill 3 pilot holes, one at a time. I'm thinking one on, like one here, right? Okay, I'm going to do these one at a time. Because, you know, we know how this goes. Now, hopefully that didn't come through at the top. And drill another pilot hole. I'll trade you spots. Thinking right here would be good.
When you're about an inch out, an inch and a half out.
About there? Well, I can't go too far over.
Yeah, that's why. That's about where you're. This is about where you're at.
I thought you meant from the other end, like.
No,
okay.
From the.
Okay. 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 And then put this one in.
Ooh, you shocked me.
Sorry. It's my electric personality.
No, it's just because we're electrifying together.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, you can let go. And I'll put the middle one in. Roughly in the middle. And I'm using the screws from the pocket holes because they've got this nice, like a washer head on them. So it'll grab a little bit more. There we go. Take the flashlight off the top. Nice. That, oh, put it down. That's amazing. I love that. That looks so good. There we go.
Let's put the other one in.
Yeah.
See what they look like together.
Put another one up. All right, now that the drapes are being installed, and I've shown you that, I'm gonna go along the couch here. This needs to be capped. I'm gonna cap it exactly like I did the wall. And it's gonna be a 2x3, and it's gonna stick out ever so slightly, because this is gonna, the couch is gonna go under this lip, and it's gonna stick out ever so slightly to give it a bit of a edge feel to it, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm gonna just take this, I'm gonna trim it, because right there it needs to be trimmed. I'm gonna trim it, and then I'm gonna sand it flush, smooth, put that piece on it. And when I get around to it, I've got to veneer the fronts. When I veneer around the windows, I will veneer these edges as well. And I also have to figure out how to get this to operate a little more smoothly. But that's not today's problem. Today's problem is getting the couch in place and probably screwed down. I'm just gonna trim this with the jigsaw, and then I'm going to sand it smooth. I'm thinking this will give me my best chance of following along here, I think. Let's see what happens. That was right. That was the easiest one. Alright. Let's get to sanding this thing. I'm going to move the cushion. It's full of dog hair, but I don't want it full of sawdust as well. There we go. Top on the back of the couch is done. And yeah, these will get filled. And however we treat this, probably going to whitewash. It is pine, so it's going to get kind of yellowy looking. Like if you look over here, that stuff that's been in here a while. See up, it's a little bit yellowy looking because it's pine. Pine is yellow. And we're going to whitewash it, take some of the yellow out of it, and then probably just clear it because I really like the wood grain. Really like it. Alright. I'm going to tackle this. It's about as much as I can do. The blind for this one has to be a little bit smaller. So Christina will measure that up and get that in there. So I think that's all I'm going to do in the bus today. I think tomorrow, that's another day. I'm thinking that's it for inside the bus today. Got this, all the trim done around here. Got a couple of the blinds put up. And I got the couch. The couch is squared away. Put the back on the top on the back of the couch, and it is now attached to the floor. And I think that's where I'm going to call it for this one. Tomorrow, maybe even tonight, we are having an electrical issue with the transmission control module. It keeps blowing a fuse. So I think I'm going to chase after that. It's got to be a bare wire. Something's rubbed through it. It's just shorting out. So might start that tonight. Might start that in the morning. I have some other things I want to do tomorrow too.